Hello, Madison. I have a question for you.
Okay, Christina. Is that our intro for the week? What's your
Th-
question?
That is the intro for the week. Okay. My question is, do you ever forklift David?
I'm sorry. What?
It's exactly why I didn't want to say this before we started recording.
Forklift him?
Forklift him. You ever
Am I supposed
forklift your
to
man?
am I supposed to know what a forklift means? You mean like with my arms?
Yeah, there we go. Now we're thinking.
You mean like pick him up like a baby?
No, not pick him up like a baby. So what I do to Taylor is he started calling it he's like, you're like a little forklift. I go up behind him when he's not expecting it, and I just put my arms up like elbows to my
Okay.
side, and I just bring my forearms up. So if you're not seeing this right now, they're at a 90-degree angle. And then I
Okay.
just go up behind him and I just put my arms around him like that, and then I slowly creep around him. But the way I do it is like a little forklift. Like I have forks, and he just gets kind of, his sides get poked slowly by my forks until I come around and hug him. And he calls it being, he's like, oh, here comes the forklift. And I
You
just thought it'd
know,
be fun to ask you if you've ever forklifted David.
I think this is another one of those instances where you have an original experience. And I love that for you.
Well,
That's great.
I urge everybody to forklift their partner when they get home today and tell them I told you to do it.
I just was thinking about all the dirty things, and then I was like, wait, we're not talking about scissoring. We're talking about a forklift.
A forklift
And I was
is
like,
the
what does
least
that
sexy
mean?
sounding fucking thing on earth, dude.
Right? But you have the forklift, you got the jackhammer, you got scissoring, you got all these different,
No,
tools.
jackhammer sounds a little bit sexy. Like it's fast, it's powerful, even the sound it makes, right? A forklift, bro? That's like your that's like the math teachers walking down the aisle and then they have to bend over by you to help someone and you're just stuck there. That's the image a forklift gives off.
I agree. That's why I was so caught off guard. Great question. Great
I
intro. I
know.
love that.
I thought it would be fun because we're about to get fucking serious on It's
I
Not That Serious.
know. Yeah, we are going to get serious today, guys. This is an important episode that we are both very passionate about.
Yeah.
And do we just dive in? Do we just fucking go for it? We rip the band-aid off? What do we do?
Yeah, I mean, I made it as lighthearted as possible before we got into it. I really wanted to set you up with some giggles before we took it away from you and said, "Hey, you need to critically think for a little bit."
We preface this by saying we in no way are coming from a place of judgment with this episode, but we are coming with the intent to hopefully change your mind. Hopefully change your mind, open your mind, make you consciously think about the content that you're putting out into the universe, the global, worldwide web. Prestige worldwide. Wide, wide, prestige worldwide. Shit, we have to get serious.
You know how much I hate doing that though.
I know. Okay. So you've always been a creator that doesn't show your children.
For the most part, yes. Once I started getting a following, I made the conscious decision to stop showing my children. But I would say I was never a content creator that purposely showed my kids anyway. I just started making a lot of content when I was on maternity leave. And
So they
so
were just kind of sprinkled in,
yeah, the fact
happening.
that like my baby was on my chest, or
Yeah.
like I was doing like when I was trying to figure out editing and vlogging, I would set up my phone like at the doorway, or something, and I would be doing something you could see in a room.
You
But
catch glimpses of your kids.
yeah, you'd catch glimpses and stuff. And then I just started really thinking about it when I started getting a big following, how they didn't sign up to be viewed by the world. And I am their mother. I am their protector. I am their role model for what a parent should be when they become a parent. And when I think about that, just that title alone and that impact, because I always say parenting is a long game. You're going to be a parent to an adult a lot longer than a child.
Yep.
And you really need to think about that all of the years through childhood. And when I had a baby, like that was just magnetized in my mind, and I started going viral around the same time. And I just kind of got scared. I know that when you go viral, you have no control over what people say, what people do, how people feel about you. And I didn't want to subject my children to that. It's not fair to them. And if consent isn't until 18, then I'm going to say I add that to online security. And my job as a mom is to do everything I can until they become sneaky teens and do whatever the fuck they want anyway. Like behind my back,
Yeah.
because teens be teens. Like
Teens be teens.
everything, like I'm going to do everything I can to protect them was my
Right.
bottom line.
Yeah.
And I say that being someone who still shares, like maybe the back of my kid running away in a clip, or sharing a recipe where I'm cooking with my kid and I'm trying to block them out the whole time with a giant heart on the screen, like
Yeah.
there's still content that I make where my kid is in or around, but I am doing my best to give them privacy because I know that they didn't ask to be there and they didn't ask for, their space to be filmed. Your mom's just trying to make some money so I could stay home with you. And that's how I'm going to explain it.
Yeah. As someone who used to show my kids in content, like I don't think I ever showed them that much, that frequently, but trying to start a social media following, trying to grow a community in the mom space, I felt like showing my kids was part of that. Showing my day with my children, showing funny things that they do. I thought that that was all part of it and that it would help grow my online community. And in a sense, it did. And it wasn't until I had a video go viral, but go viral in the wrong way and end up on a dark side of TikTok. Dark side. It was just the fucking pet parents. I'm acting.
It's the dark side of the moon.
It is the dark side of the moon for the human moms. But after having a video go viral, that then exposed my page to a bunch of people that were not in the mom community, that were not safe people to be having access to my kids. And it took, unfortunately, that hard lesson of me getting not one, not two, not three, not 10. I'm talking countless death threats and really horrible, ugly messages that are imprinted in my brain forever about my children, for me to be like, why do y'all even deserve to see them? You don't even deserve to see their innocence. Why are you coming for my kids? Come for me all you want. But why are you coming for my kids?
Yeah. I was going to say an important thing that you had said was going into the motherhood space. You kind of wanted to create a motherhood following. You wanted like-minded, so you wanted moms. So when you're thinking about that, then you're thinking, like we're all doing mom things. We're all showing our kids glimpses of it, and it's not that harmful. And I'm only pointing this out because that's such a good thought. That's such a good, like I see where your thought was there. And when I started creating content, that was not my mindset. Like I never wanted people to follow me for motherhood. I wanted people to follow me because I'm funny. I wasn't looking for people to follow me for any specific one niche, except for the fact that you think I'm funny. And that's what I was banking it on, which is why when I switched, and this is an important caveat back into your space, when I switched taking my kid out, it didn't feel like any big deal. I'm like, oh, hell yeah, that it's even easier now. Like focus on me. Like it sounds so selfish, but it's like, I am creating a space for me to escape. Motherhood is my whole life now, right? Motherhood is now my whole life. My world revolves around my daughter. So when I get online, that is my place to be Christina. And that's how I viewed it. And that's how I made the transition so simple in my mind. And that's how I kind of teed it up to you when you started asking me.
Yes.
Because I think I reminded you that like, I found you because you're funny. I found you because I related to you and Madison. And you were like, I wanted to build a mom community. And I was like, I related to you, Mom Madison, but I didn't need to see your kids to get there.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, like, I think a lot of people have that mindset when they're thinking about making family content, parenting content, relatable mom content. I don't want to fearmonger people. I don't think everybody's a bad person who would see my kid. That's not at all the thing. It's just the fact that it only takes one bad person to see my kid and want to do something bad that makes me upset. And I
Yeah.
think we say it so much. I would do anything for my kid. I would do anything for my kid. But it's like, I really want people to think about, would you do anything for your kid? Because that includes protecting them everywhere. Protecting their privacy is huge. And in a world where we are giving ourselves so much to so many people all the time, and they're going to grow up and have to do that, let them be kids for as long as they can be. And being a kid means not being perceived when you're growing and making mistakes, like that's a
Yeah.
lot.
And I remember whenever I made the choice to stop showing them, period, I was out at a park, and remember I told you this.
Mm-hmm.
I had someone who was good intentioned. She was a mom. She was really sweet, but she recognized my daughter. She literally recognized her. And I was someone who didn't even show her a lot. I showed her once a week. And the rest of it was just me. I showed her once a week because I had a whole segment on my page called Toddler Rules Tuesday. Okay. So I took my toddler and I came up with this fun little series where I wrote down a bunch of things on a piece of paper. I put them in a bowl, and then my daughter would draw from that bowl. And that would be our activity that we did for the day. We would do a place to eat lunch, an activity, and a treat. And we did this every Tuesday. And it became such a cool little thing. I had moms messaging me saying, "Thank you so much for giving me the idea." And it was fun. It was cute. And my daughter was the star of the fucking show. She was hilarious. She was so funny.
She
And
was.
it was great. It was such
It
a good
was. It
little
was really
series.
cute. It was such a
Yeah.
cute little series. It was so innocent. It was so pure. It was just,
Yes. It
it
was
was
really
quite literally
cute.
something you'd want to send to your mom or your sister or
Yeah.
your friend. And that's why it felt so wholesome.
Yes. And it felt safe. I was probably, I don't know, around 15 or 20,000 followers when I started it. I don't remember exactly, but I think 98% of my following were female, and I assumed that most of them were moms. Like, I was connecting the most with moms, so it felt safe. Then I'm posting,
Which is,
this
again, why we're
series.
saying we don't come with judgment. I'm sorry, I keep
Right.
cutting you off, but I'm like, I just want to say it out there so wholeheartedly that we're not judging. We just want to open your minds the way that we kind of slow opened our own.
Yeah. I never ever, the reason I'm so like vocal about it now and I'm so hyper aware of it now is because I never want someone to learn the way that I learned. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I had that video go viral. I had horrible things being said about my children by strangers. Got really, really concerned for their safety. Then I said, okay, you know what? I remember it was a weekend. It was a weekend. I was getting all sorts of death threats and stuff. I took a break from being online, and I had come back on that Tuesday that I was going to be doing Toddler Rules Tuesday. And I said, guys, I'm not doing Toddler Rules Tuesday today. It feels weird. I am literally getting attacked. My kids are getting attacked. I had went and privated a bunch of videos showing them because people were saying such awful things about them. And I didn't want them online anymore. I didn't feel comfortable. And I said, maybe I'll do Toddler Rules Tuesday next week. Maybe I won't. I don't
This
know.
was all over a joke, by the way. Madison
Yes.
told a joke about her dogs. We've already hashed it out. Like,
Yeah.
the dog
If you're
community hates Madison. We get it. But like, she made jokes, and when people make jokes, other people get really, really tickled by it. But you could be tickled without sending someone death threats. So
death threats, yeah. And then just got horrible things that I'm not even going to speak into existence about my kids. And then that icky feeling, it just never went away. It never went away. I said, why am I going to put them back online when I know how easy it is now for one video to take off? And it doesn't even, here's the thing, it doesn't even have to be a video that is showing your kids. It could quite literally be any video.
mm-hmm.
If it pops off and you piss off the right people, they will find you. They will go to your profile. They will look at everything. That's what they do. These
They're
people,
like little virtual Liam Neesons is how they feel. They're like, I'm coming for
I
you.
will
I'm
find
gonna
you.
slay you in these comments. And you're like,
Yes.
let's simmer down.
Yes. People were going on so many different videos. It was just so uncomfortable. And then I said, you know what? No, I'm not showing them anymore because why am I going to potentially expose them to that? And then maybe a week or so later, I was recognized out at a park, but so was my daughter. And that just, I remember messaging you immediately. And I was
I was
like,
all, that would creep me the hell out. That is my worst
yeah,
nightmare.
exactly.
No, thank you.
I don't want my kids being recognized. Imagine them being recognized without you there. Imagine they're on a school field trip or something and they get recognized by some stranger. Like,
Can
that's
I
just
also just be like petty
weird.
for a second?
Absolutely.
Like,
Get it.
there are people in my life that, like, they don't call to check in on my kid. I'm not
Yep.
going to give you free videos of them. I'm going to give
Yep.
you updates on her life via social media so you can continue not to check in on her and
Literally,
then be like, yeah, we're close. Like, no, you're not.
we
I'm
have a
not even teeing
mutual.
that up. Like, if you
Yeah.
want to know about my kid, then come and ask me.
Yeah.
So I just want to put a petty part out there for y'all. Because I know someone needs that in order to get a little pep in their step.
They do. I mean, we have a mutual that stopped showing her kids because of that. She's no contact with her parents. So she said, "Why am I going to put them online if I'm no contact with my parents where they can
Yeah.
see my kid?
Well,
I'm
yeah,
not
I
going to do
mean,
it."
there's so many reasons to not put your kids online, but like take your pick. That's all I'm saying. I'm not even trying to get everyone scared. You could just take a little petty route. You could just be like, no, y'all do, if you want to know about us, then call us.
Yeah.
You could go old school, just if you
Yeah.
want to. Sorry, it's heavy, so I gotta lighten it every once in a while.
I like that. We do have to keep it unserious every now and then, you know? But there's also the element of we have toddlers, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's funny to tell stories about them, and you can get online and tell funny stories about your toddler. And universally, it's not an embarrassing experience, it's a funny experience. We can all laugh that when I was 2, I pooped in the bathtub and played with it, right? Like that's funny. Fast forward to me being a 10, 11, 12, 13-year-old and imagine putting out a story like that. Oh, my kid shit his pants. You have that
Yeah.
element too, where it's like you have to protect the people in your life that didn't sign up to share their life online.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what the appropriate age is where you kind of have to draw that line. I'm not there yet. I still have toddlers. So
Yeah, I feel that a lot because I am parenting two different age groups, right? I'm
yeah.
parenting a kid who's going to be 12 and a kid who's going to be 3. So parenting a 3-year-old across the board is just insane. We've coined the term three-nager. And it's not to say that parenting a 12-year-old across the board isn't insane. It is. However, your 12-year-old is cognitively aware of his world now, their world now. Sorry, mine's a boy. Um, like they are just now coming into consciousness. Like they are getting hormones. They are getting feelings they've never felt before. They're starting to understand. Like we all watched Inside Out. Like they're starting to get these, new brain parts. They're starting to become aware of not just themselves, everyone around them. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I don't need to tee up to the world is more ammunition against or for my kid. My kid deserves to go have a clean slate in the world and go make their own mistakes and their own, like set their own little records. That is not for me. It's only for me to keep reminding them how to be safe along the way, how to, protect themselves along the way, how to be kind along the way to other people.
Yeah.
But it's so hard. And it's hard because there are relatable parts about parenting on this age that like you want to joke about and you want to talk about. And, I send you audio chats like, today's a hard day, but it's like
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. I'm the adult in the relationship. I have to sit with the hard because I have learned that is my role, right? It is my weight to carry when I decided to become a mother is to protect all of their weights until they can protect it themselves.
Yep.
So I'm not going to come on here and share, his struggles or his funny moments because they're not mine to share. Now, that being said, catch me when he's 25, fully brain developed. I'm going to, rattle off some stories of his growing up experience. And be like, I'm putting together a set list, my dude.
Yeah.
Which ones can I or can I not talk about,
Yeah.
But I say that because one of the comedians I have thoroughly enjoyed throughout the years, Bert Kreischer, made a bit about his daughter's period. And he made it at a time before she was old enough to consent legally. Like, she was still under 18 when he had came out with that bit. And in my mind, that doesn't seem fair. Whether she agreed to it or not, that's not fair. Like, that's something, like, she is still growing up. Her dad is a super famous comedian.
Yeah.
Like, whether or not she's a cool as hell teenager who's not going to let that affect her, we are setting that standard. You are setting a precedent for a lot of people when you have that many eyes on you and when you have that many dads watching you.
Yeah.
I have so many moms and dads, but I mean, like, I have so many parents watching me, and it's my responsibility to also be an example of the kind of parents I think we should all be.
Yeah.
Like, we need to hold each other accountable in society to be better, right? That's the only way we're ever going to fucking grow if we can't do that. But that means also taking a stand and doing stuff that's hard. And that means protecting your kids' peace at the cost of, potential money right now, at the cost of potential viralness or whatever it is. Like, I'm not saying this to shade Bert Kreischer. Like, I do enjoy his comedy. I do enjoy his bit, but it's something that we need to talk about all these things, and we need to talk about these people that have these, these big platforms, and what happens when you, like, what do you think is going to happen when you're talking about your daughter's period to a bunch of grown men?
Yeah, it's weird.
That's
I would be
unsettling to me.
horrified.
Like,
yeah.
that. And I just, like, there's so many things I wouldn't talk about for my son. Like, it's just, puberty's not a time to be telling the world, you can joke about puberty when your kid's grown, because then everybody has the, then we're joking about hindsight. And that is funny because they are stories and they are memories. But that's where we need to figure out lines. Like, we can't blur these lines. We really need to let these kids grow up before we are exposing them like this to the world, to where the world is already putting perceived notions on them before they get out there and experience it themselves.
Yeah.
That was a lot of big words.
You did great. I am now so hyper aware of it that I internally get so conflicted when I have a creator that I follow or that I don't follow, because it sometimes just pops up on my FYP, right? That has 1 million plus followers, 2 million plus followers, and I see a video of just their kid, of just a 4-year-old eating something silly, or a 2-year-old walking around in a bathing suit and heels. And yes, it is so fucking cute. It is so cute. But then I look at those saves and I see that it is a video that's gotten 4 million views and it has 5,000 saves. And you just cannot with absolute certainty tell me that every single one of those 5,000 saves is a mom looking at it to get a quick laugh or outfit inspo or whatever it is.
It's also those videos, like, why are you saving that to come back to? Why would you go back to somebody else's kid to give you a serotonin boost, whether you're a mom or not?
Yeah, I will, just to be devil's advocate, I've heard people say that they save videos for, like, outfits. If they see outfits that they like on a kid. Am I doing that? No. But could I see it? I guess. But more so, the concern is
bullshit.
definitely.
I call bullshit. I'm just gonna call it.
Concern is the creeps out there that are fucking saving a video of your kid. Like, I'm sorry. Now I'm getting mad. Now I'm getting mad, and I'm just gonna rip the Band-Aid off, okay? Because this is child exploitation.
Boom! She said it. She dropped the bomb.
And nobody's saying anything. There's a couple of accounts that I follow on TikTok that are trying to bring awareness to this. And I go through the comments and it is so 50-50. You will have people that are absolutely in support, and then you'll have people that are like, what do you have against her? She's just sharing her life. They're a part of her life. She's proud of them. Absolutely. I would love to be able to show you my kids. I think they're the most beautiful thing in the fucking world, but you don't deserve them.
You
I
don't
don't know
deserve
who
them.
you are. I can't guarantee that they are going to be kept safe by me putting their face online.
Hmm.
Their safety is not guaranteed,
I
period.
can't keep them safe if I don't put their face online. I'm just trying to keep them safe as possible. So I'm not gonna
Yeah.
make it harder on myself. There's enough
Yeah.
hard things in motherhood. The last thing I need to do is make it harder. Like
We
shit.
we all as moms have seen like cops talk about this, different advocates for different things talk about like school backpacks. Don't put your kid's name on your school backpack
Oh my
because
God,
then
we have cops
strangers.
telling like they're normal people on Facebook, don't tell people where your kid goes to school. Like
Right,
just don't tell your normal coworkers. So
right.
why would you tell blasted to strangers?
Some people put their location. It makes it so we've talked about that creator before that literally can find you. She is like next level FBI clear. She's not an FBI agent. I don't know how she does it. But if you give her a picture of a house, she will find that fucking house. She will find the
She will
address. She will
she will
find
do
it.
a give your mouse a cookie bit on it, I'll tell you what.
And that is terrifying.
It's very
It's
spooky.
it is. And I'm sorry, but it's child exploitation. If you were posting a fucking video of your kid doing something funny and you are not anywhere in that video, you're literally getting it for views. Tell me what else it would be. Okay, let's say you're coming at it from an innocent. Oh, it's just funny. I just want to share it. Okay, but now we're telling you that that video has the potential to go viral. Videos of babies have gone viral from creators with 300 followers, right?
From
You don't
creators where it's their first video. People have
right.
gone viral from posting their first video where it's just a 10-second clip.
Yep.
Wasn't one of the kids like the I eat beef girl? Wasn't she a viral sensation to begin with? Like
I don't remember.
so
I
back when Vine was a thing,
love
there
Vine.
was like her name was Ava, but she was a toddler at the time and she's just staring out the window and she turns and looks at her mom and she goes, I like beef. I like beef. And it's just like a 6-second clip of a toddler saying that. And it's so funny, right?
Of course.
The video was hilarious, except like she was a toddler at the time. So there was a lot of moments like that. So the mom kept posting, videos like that. And she ended up, I think now she is, I don't think she's 18 yet, but I think she's getting close and she posts her own videos, but she has quite literally grown up online.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's cool and all, but also like, that's insane.
Yeah.
Imagine
Look at
having your whole digital footprint online your whole life. Like
yeah.
straight like imagine I don't know, because she had talked about in different videos, like what's it like having strangers come up to you and like recognize you, and it just like you could see it in her eyes, like she's like, well, it's kind of strange, but it's normal to me.
Normal
She's not
percent.
old enough to truly comprehend that her life was different than other kids.
Right.
You
Without
cannot
her
comprehend
consent.
what it's like being perceived until you have a fully developed brain. You're not realizing like what being perceived by that many people does to somebody and
Mm-hmm.
how scary that must feel when you realize it, because it's going to hit you all at once that like millions of people saw you.
Yeah.
What a weird feeling.
It would be weird. It would
Think
be
about
really
that
weird.
like for yourself. Like take your kids out of it for a second. Everyone who's listening, all three of you at this point, can you just can you sit in the moment where you found out that your parents had been filming you since you had been born and millions of people have been watching you grow up? How would
Spooky.
that make you feel
Yeah.
as an adult woman, Madison? What if your parents told you that right now? What would you feel? I would feel violated all of a
I
sudden.
mean,
I
yeah,
would feel exposed. I would be like,
yeah,
what do you, I'd
I
get
got chills on my body when you said that.
thank
So
you. Everybody should. Now think about your fucking kids. You're supposed to protect those bitches. Get your dicks together, damn it.
yeah. And I think I truly get it. I get because most people that are sharing their kids are moms, right? And I've been there. I've walked in those shoes where I'm like, I'm just trying to grow my page. I'm trying to grow my community. I'm in the mom space.
There's
The
some creepy
point
moms out there too, by the way.
there's absolutely
So,
some creepy moms. Ask yourself the question, do they have to be there for you to succeed? I promise you the answer is no. The answer is no. I have gained momentum since stopping showing my kids. Look at
hmm
creators like Emily Vondi. Fucking hilarious. One of my favorite follows. Love her. Doesn't show her kids.
Anna
Annalie
Lee.
doesn't show her kids.
hmm
Lindsay Girk doesn't show her kids.
Hold on. I'm going to pause and let everyone know this is the third time we have recorded this episode. It's not that we didn't want to send out the first two. It's the fact that the audio was distorted and it didn't work. But on the past two, we could not get her last name right, only to find out that we were just not reading it correctly the whole time. And it was so simple.
Literally
And I
Girk.
just feel like you need to be in on the joke with us on why that's so silly.
It's literally Lindsay Girk.
So simple.
And there's dads in the space too. You have
Dad chats.
Dad chats. You have these huge creators that are so successful in this space, and they don't show their kids. You don't.
They've
have
never
to.
shown their kids, or
Yeah.
like they're hiding them.
You do not have to. And I've seen this talked about from different perspectives, and some people are like, that's so weird. Why would you even post that with an emoji over their face? Like, just don't post it. And I get it. Sometimes you want to share, like, I just went on vacation with my family. We took a family photo and I did a little carousel post of all of the pictures. And that's one of the pictures that I posted because I'm there with my family and it's exciting and it's fun, but I covered their faces. And it's so easy to do that. If you feel like you still want to share these big moments where your family was with you, and you can do so and still maintain the privacy of your kids. It can be done. You don't have to show them to succeed. You really don't. And I wish that would have been the message that I took into my brain when I was trying to grow my account, because I was so stuck in the mindset of, oh, I'm so small. Like, it's no harm, no foul. I always knew that eventually I would stop showing them. I always knew that. I was waiting until I grew. I was like, oh, when I get to a significant amount of followers, I'll stop. I wish I would have realized that I didn't need to show them at all. I didn't have to. And I wish I wouldn't have learned the way that I learned. And if this episode stops that hard lesson from being learned from anybody else, then I feel like we've done our part, like advocating for the privacy of kids. And it was just such a hard lesson to learn. I want to hone in on that. No mom should have to experience people saying such horrid, despicable, ugly things about their kids. It is truly gut-wrenching and it's gross.
The way Madison was ready to quit it all when that was going down. She was ready to delete videos. She was ready to sail off with the winds. Y'all don't realize how many ways I had to talk her down from Friday to Tuesday. We had weekend calls. We clocked in on the weekend to our friendship, which rarely happens. It's happening more and more.
It is.
That's cute.
It is. It's nice.
It's because we're working together now. Well, hey, bitch, clock in. I need you.
It's just, it's such a serious topic that it just doesn't get talked about enough. It just doesn't.
You know what though? I'm going to say it. The other two episodes recorded, I'm glad the audio fucked up because this one was the best.
This one is going really well. Yeah.
This one was the best, I think. Yeah. I think this was the nicest and meanest way to say this in the best possible way. The other way was just chaotic and uncomfortable and there was no clear message. You know?
Yeah.
This one has a clear message. It's this is where I stand and this is how I feel.
Yes. And again, not coming at you from a place of judgment, coming from a place of genuine passion for this and wanting to just open your mind. Just ask ask yourself these questions. Do I have to
This
show
is the
them?
kind of
Why am I
tough love
showing
you're
them?
supposed to give yourself.
Yeah.
This is the tough love, is asking yourself the hard questions
Yeah.
and pushing through them the ways that don't always feel the best, you know?
Yes. That's how you grow.
Can we all just reiterate that it's okay to make mistakes? It's okay to grow. It's okay to say I was wrong. Like it sucks, don't get me wrong. It don't feel good saying it. God, every time I got to tell my husband like you were right, it feels like a dagger to my chest.
Yeah.
But imagine if we said it more often, then it wouldn't feel like that. And if we said it more often, then our kids would say it more often, and then we'd grow up with a more just accepting and peaceful
The domino
society.
effect.
It
And
is.
not, I mean, I know we're on a lighthearted right now, lighthearted moment, not to get too dark, but we haven't even dipped our toes into the fucking creepy ass AI dilemma that it poses when you're showing your kids online. Okay, that's a
There's
whole
so
nother
many.
segment.
The fact that like someone could take their image and then create whatever they want out of it is
Yes,
creepy. I
it's
mean, it's
creepy.
already creepy that they could do that to me and us, right?
And they can. Yeah.
So imagine them doing that to your kid.
And this goes for all aspects. I feel like people literally they respect their spouse's privacy more than their kids. I
Ooh.
oh, did we drop a bomb? We
You
did.
said it, girl. That is, some people need to hear that. No, you're
They
right. Like,
do because
truly, some people are truly protecting their spouse more than their child, and you need to think about that. You need to sit with that and be like,
dude,
am I protecting my spouse more than my kid? Like,
it
their privacy? Like, are the stories that you tell about your partner are not making, the you're not showing your partner's get ready with me routine. You're not showing everything that they're eating. You're not showing, like, I'm not saying there's any harm in showing kids food or people's food. I fucking love those videos. I think those are
I
super
do too.
innocent. But I'm just
Oh,
saying, like, you're not showing this whole process of their morning the way you are with like your kid. Like,
yep.
people doing like the toddler get ready with me's creep me out. Kid get
Yes.
ready with me's creep me out.
It's so
or
weird.
or like kid fit checks kind of weird me out. Not like they don't weird me out in the sense of you were to keep them on your phone for yourself, that is adorable. If
Yeah.
you keep those and you document those and you make a little video diary for like home movie style, I love that. You show that to grandma, like you show that at a birthday party on the projection. I am obsessed with that. Whatever. You want to do that on the close friends list on your Instagram story? By
Yeah.
all means. It creeps me out when you're teeing it up to the universe of people that are on TikTok, or
Yeah.
if like a platform, or if you have a public profile on any platform. Even if you have a private one, people can get it. But like if you have a public platform of any kind and you're just teeing up your kid, not to mention, that they're going to be employed one day, and you're putting out so many things about them that future employers, like their boss, could already be in the work field. I could be their future boss. I don't know where I'm going to be working in 30 years, and I might have already seen your kid online. Isn't that creepy? Oh, I
It
used
is.
to watch you get ready, Tommy. Like, think about that. Like, I'm trying to get it less serious to be silly because I want you guys to really listen, but
No,
it's
it's
scary. It's
I think
scary.
Christina and I are both people that we're very consciously aware of what we're posting. So if I'm telling a silly story about my husband, we want to make sure that that video that he would look at it and not be offended, that he would look at it and be like, "Oh, that's funny. That's silly."
Mm-hmm.
And people are not doing that for their own kids. People will do that for their husband. They're not going to share like intimate sex stories, but they'll share about I don't know, they're walking in I'm trying to think of something that's like that crosses the line.
I'll tell you what, I shared a very personal video story the other day, but it was not crossing the line. And I knew that when I posted it. Like Madison said, we're very conscious in like how we think about our bits even, right? I'm very conscious when I say like my son versus saying his name to keep giving him that extra layer of privacy.
Yeah.
But I made a funny video about having a hickey as a 31-year-old lady because that is insane behavior. It just sounds silly. It's stupid, right? But it was like,
hickeys are silly.
they're so silly. They're so funny because it's like, it doesn't matter. Anyway, the whole premise of the joke, though, was the fact that my mom saw it. And it was, the whole joke. But I wanted to make sure that the whole video was something that if my husband saw it, if my mom saw it, and even if my kids saw it one day, everybody would laugh. My goal when I am putting things out there is to make my husband laugh. Truly, that is the main goal. If I get that fucker to laugh, if he comes to bed at the end of the night and he tells me he saw my video and he laughed at it, that gives me a better high than going viral, dude. I'm like, I got that fucker to laugh? Oh my God. He doesn't have the same humor as me. He's a blue collar man. Like, he's laughing at dick jokes and, with his buddies. Like, literally, when I get him to laugh at my jokes, then I know that I am funny across the board. And that is the goal. That is my goal. Okay. And that is something that, like, when we talk about conscious, it's not that you can't share silly personal things. Like, I'm still, it's still, but there's a tasteful way to overshare. There is a tasteful way to overshare. You overshare a little bit, so you give a teaser of what people are going to be talking about, and you reel it back in, right? You go back to the jokes, you go back to the cushion, you go back to the safe space.
Yeah.
You got to remember that these are real people that did not sign up for this.
Yeah, they didn't.
And they're going to have real reactions.
Yeah, look at all the John and Kate +8 kids, I think, are coming out and speaking about how they feel about being televised their whole life.
What about that one lady who ended up going to prison? The YouTube mom.
Oh my God, yeah.
She ended, that was really dark. I forget her name. But her kids came out with one of the oldest one, I think, just released like a documentary with somebody where she was telling everybody everything.
Yeah, the son has a fucking epic sense of humor. He's like the videos that he posts about it, he's got such a dark sense of humor. It's hilarious. But not everybody gets blessed that way, right? Not everyone's coping mechanism is humor. Some coping mechanisms are
drinking,
drugs,
gambling. I don't know. Like, there's so many avenues.
Vice,
depression.
Could be anything. Even all like the Nickelodeon kids. I watch movies now with kids in it, and I'm like,
oh yeah.
I still love the movies, but I'm like, dang, like that's just a.
You know what I get excited for? I love seeing unknown child actors in movies. I'm all, damn, your parents really did a one and done, and that's the way to do it. Like, you can let your kid be in one movie. Yeah, go fulfill your dream. Let it be once. If you're good at it, then you can do it again when you're an adult.
Yeah.
Those are some good parents right there. They're like, no, you got to go have a normal childhood. You got that one movie. All right. We got some money for you to go to acting school when you grow up. Leave it alone.
Yeah. And even talking about movies, think about all the celebrities that keep their kids offline. Like, they do not show their kids. They just don't. Emily Blunt, John Krasinski, they don't show their kids. I bet they have beautiful kids. I bet they have stunning kids.
Think about Nepo babies that you didn't even know were Nepo babies, like Lily Collins.
Yeah.
Phil Collins hid her. She worked her way up from no one even. I found out yesterday that they were related, dude. Yesterday, when I was looking up his songs, I was like, hold on a second.
You know who else is related?
Who?
Julie. What?
Julia Roberts and Emma Roberts. Yeah. I think I read that in J14 once.
And it makes so much sense. They actually look alike.
They do.
Once you connect,
that's got to be like a maternal side. Oh, I guess that would be a paternal side if they look that much alike. That's got to be like her dad's sister.
Maybe. I don't know. I never looked it up. If they have the same last name, it would have to be, right?
Oh, yeah. Fucking dumb.
No.
Yeah, Emma Roberts, Julia Roberts could have married into the Roberts name, huh?
Yeah.
Did she?
I don't know. Is that her name or is that her married name? All right, we're getting off on a tangent. Who fucking cares? The point is that there are so many celebrities that choose to keep their kids offline in protection of them so that they can have somewhat of a normal childhood. Because imagine that scale. I mean, my God, that's crazy. But when you think about it, you could have some videos that pop off and you are getting that same exposure. It can
Hmm.
happen. It can literally happen. So why tee it up?
Also,
Literally.
I need you to remember this is the biggest one that you need to sit with. And this is just for you to sit with personally as an adult human, not even fucking don't even tempt it with your kids. The level that we were seeing celebrities in the 90s, like via blockbuster movies, TV shows, or whatever, is not at all the same that people are reaching now. You
Yeah.
are quite literally putting out videos every day. People are watching you all hours of the day whenever they want to. Whenever they want to tap into your life, they get to do that. I know I'm making you uncomfortable. I should. These are the things I think about before I post, and you need to too.
Hmm.
Anytime someone wants access to me, they have it because I put stuff out there for people to look at at any time. That means they get to know me at any fucking point in their life that they want. They can binge watch me at 3 a.m. on a Tuesday if they want to.
God, I've binged so many people at 3 a.m. on a Tuesday.
Okay? Think about how much of your life, like, I know that sounds scary, but then, like, we're not meant to be watching people that much. We're not meant to be knowing that many people. It's not normal.
You know,
So, for the love of God, keep your kids out of it.
this is off subject, but I just saw a post the other day that rocked my core, bro. It showed all the beauty trends, like glow up in 15 minutes, just got
Yeah.
filler done, but and this isn't even to shame anybody. It's just talking about the beauty standards of women. And then it said, "You were never meant to see your face." And then it shows like a deer running in the field,
I
and it
saw
shows
that.
it blew my mind. It fucking blew my mind because that's
You
so
were
true.
you were meant to see your face in the reflection of the water. You were
Yep.
meant to see it in the beauty of earth. Quite literally, you were meant to only see yourself in the beauty of others. Whatever
So
people
crazy.
projected back to you, that's how you saw yourself and what you could physically see.
Yeah. You
You
were
would see yourself on occasion if you got glass or, some like
yeah,
reflective thing and you're like, whoa. You were not looking at yourself all day, every day and comparing yourself to what everyone else looked like.
literally so fucking wild. So wild.
So
But
imagine, but same with doing though. Like we
yeah.
also weren't meant to be watching each other get ready every fucking day. Like we weren't necessarily meant to be watching, we shouldn't be waking up and watching other people do stuff. That's
Yeah.
not sane behavior.
And it shouldn't just to tie it back all in, it shouldn't take legislation and laws, whatever the fucking terminology for it is. It shouldn't take all of that being passed in order for this to like come to a stop. I just shared with Christina right before we started recording that there is some law being passed in California, that requires like family vloggers, things like that. If their kids are featured in the content, they should be paid for that. And now it's coming forward that some of these like famous family vloggers, or I didn't fact check this, I saw all of this on TikTok, but that they have announced that they're moving across the country or they're moving out of state. And it just makes you think like, if you feel like you can't, I'll say this kind of sounds mean, but it's true. If you feel like you cannot succeed without showing your kids, then I don't think this is the space for you. I think that that's highly inappropriate.
Yeah.
If you think literally sharing your kids is what is going to make you pop off and be the next 1 million plus influencer with brand deals and left, right, and center, then I don't know, do some internal reflection, because that's the wrong reason to get into influencing and content creation at the end of the day.
It's not a good way to get in. I feel like you need to think about your why always. And like I said at the beginning, my why in creating a community is I want people to think I'm funny. I want people to come here and laugh and have a good time. I want, no matter how you're feeling today, we made it funny. And sometimes I put serious stuff up, sometimes I want to make you think, sometimes, whatever, but it's always in the scope of like, let's laugh through life together. That's my, that's my mission. That's my motto. That's my platform, which is why I don't get a lot of brand deals, which is why I'm not an influencer, which is why I'm not, getting successful videos all the time. And that's why this conversation, I guess, feels a little bit hard to have, because it's something that we really need to be thinking about. If Madison has a marketing degree, I have a marketing degree. I know that there's rules in marketing where you're not supposed to be advertising to children, right? You can't, there's certain laws in effect. Like Madison said, we shouldn't have to have laws in effect to protect your kids from being exploited on the internet. You as a parent should be protecting your child without that.
Right.
And I hope that this conversation today brought you to at least consider what you put online, consider what you put out there, and consider being more conscious in how you post.
Yes.
A simple way to put it.
Yes. And scene.
Boom.
Do you have anything else do you have any closing thoughts, or do you feel like you knocked it all down?
I think I was mean enough this episode. I think I got serious enough, and I apologize. What about you?
Fine. I'm good. I say we move into our advice for the week.
All right, bring it in.
All right. Therapy Thursday. This is more like advice. We're like two sisters just giving you advice. As an introvert, any tips to approach and start conversation with other parents? I seem to be socially awkward and always overthinking everything. I really want mom friends.
What do you say?
I think the easiest way for me to start talking to people, like if I'm at an indoor playground or I'm at the park or something, I'll literally just ask about their kid. Like I'll be like, "Oh, how old is he?" And that's literally my way to break the ice. And then conversation kind of just flows from there. But I'll try to ask a question about them. I've asked like about clothes. Oh, where'd you get that shirt? Where'd you get your shoes? Stuff like that. Like some just a question. And then you can kind of read people. People will either answer you and fuck off, and you're like, all right, that person's not going to be my friend. Or they answer the question and they start, to like banter with you, and then you can go back and forth. And I've talked to people that way.
I'm gonna be a little bit mean. Don't lean on being an introvert as an excuse to not make friends. If you want to make friends, you have to be a fucking active participant in friendship, which means you need to reach out to people. Friends are not going to fucking come to you the same way your partner didn't come find you at your house, right? You had to socialize with people that sucked to get to someone you liked. Same goes for people out in the wild. And you talk to people everywhere, dude. I don't know. Maybe it's being a stay-at-home mom now. The fact that I don't really get to socialize out in the wild, I lean into my social awkwardness so hard. Someone says something weird, I'm going with it. I'm like, yeah, me too. Or yeah, same. Like, you never know when someone else is also looking for friendship the way you're feeling. Just imagine everyone else is feeling that. Like, we never all grew up, okay? We still don't know how to make friends. You ever watch a kid make friends? They're doing the same thing. They're standing there like uncomfortable, like, and then eventually someone just goes, do you want this block? And then that's it. It's all it takes. It's just one person having the balls to say some words, and then the other one either responding to them or not. That's all you can do, man.
Literally.
That's all you can do.
I still get fucking nervous ordering pizza. If I can't do it online, then I'm not doing it. I don't want to call. I'm too nervous.
I have to call the doctor? Yeah, I have to call the dentist for my kid, and I've been putting it off because I simply can't be bothered to make a phone call for an appointment.
Yeah, no.
You want me to recite birthdays? No.
Everything should be online. I should be able to do everything. Speaking of, like, there are Facebook groups. There's a lot of like, you can literally go on Facebook and type in the area you live and type mom group.
Go to library story time.
Yep, something.
Library story times. You go to the park with your kid. Other moms are there with their kids. Like, you just honestly just take your kid out of the house. You just have to get out of the house is step one. And then when you're out of the house, talk to people. I know I sound like an asshole, but I'm not. Like, it's truly that fucking easy. Like, just talk to people. You know how we became friends with our neighbors, dude? We took our turkey to the park.
Again, I think that's going to be an original.
It is an original experience, but I'm just saying you could take your fucking dog to the park and someone's going to be walking by because they were walking by and they were like, is that a turkey? Now, if it was a dog, someone might say, is that a dog? You know, like,
I'm sorry. Like, just really quick, what the fuck do you mean you took your turkey to the park, dude?
we live next to the park. It's
okay. But
so it's like you open the
took 'em on
gate and the turkey followed us out there.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant you fucking put a collar and a leash on him, and I was like, Christina.
We just called his name. He was crying for us because we left him out of his sight and he was just gobbling away. And so you're like, Snoodles, come here. And then once he sees you, he just like,
Your
all the way to you.
Stresses me out. Every time we audio note, Christina's outside fucking doing her feral farm chores. I can hear the goddamn turkey like, I'm like, God.
Snoodles is a cool man, dude.
He's gonna taste yummy one day.
Nah, he's the pet.
Oh, he's an actual pet?
Yeah, he's unfortunately a pet. He's just, we named him. You can't go back now. The other turkey is just a turkey.
I see. Oh, you have another turkey.
It's his lady that we're trying to get pregnant so that we can keep growing turkeys so we don't have to kill Snoodles.
Oh, cool. So Snoodles is just going to be the
Snoodles has already survived 1 year because we had a turkey that we grew. Now we're trying to grow another one.
He's just going to be planting his seed everywhere. Good for him.
Oh my God. Didn't I send you the video of him trying to have sex? It's such a gross sound.
It is.
It's just
animals in general having sex. I think everyone having sex.
Everybody. It's just nasty. It's just fluids and body parts getting slapped together. Ew, it's like, fucking disgusting.
Who started it? Who was like, could I put my wiener in there? And then was like, yeah, let's try it. And then like, I have a hole and you have a thing on the outside of your body that looks like it could go into this hole. Let's try it out. You know, like back in the old days, and they fucking stank. They were stinky back then. They stunk. I always think about that. I was watching Apocalypto last night. Have you ever seen that movie?
No.
You've never seen Apocalypto?
I haven't even heard of it. What do you mean? Don't come at me like that.
Oh my God, Christina. It's a Mel Gibson. He directed it. It's an incredible movie. Not a lick of English is spoken. It's about
that's why I'm not watching it. Girl, I'm not reading subtitles the whole movie. You want me to read a book? I'll read a book.
No, you have to watch it. It's so good. But I think about how stinky they were all the time. Every time I watch a movie that's like back in the old days, I'm like, God, you probably...
But you have to think about their level of scent had to be much different. Their standard for... like scent was different. If everyone's stinking all the time, then that's the standard. So you're only smelling someone if they come back after like a hunt and now they really stinky, you know?
That's true.
That's my guess. I don't know. It's like they're going nose blind, right? There's no Febreze guy there to remind them, but they're nose blind.
That's like me in my house. I can smell my fucking bulldog, but I can't smell him like if I wake up in my house. But if I leave the house and then I come back, I'm like, I can smell you and I want to lose my mind, you know?
Yeah, I get that.
All right. Well, on that note.
You know what? We started it weird. We ended it weird. We made sure that we didn't get too serious along the way. This fly is fucking sending me, dude.
Dude, have you seen the salt guns?
We have one.
You do? We're going to get one this year. I can't wait.
It's fun, but then you also have to go around cleaning salt and dead flies off your house. Like, there's just little piles of salt, you know? Like, it's kind of gritty.
Yeah, that would be kind of weird. It's better than my fly graveyards, though.
It's super fun outside. It's fun outside. That's like a patio thing. Like, oh, go get that in the summertime when there's just a bajillion of them and you're just sitting in chairs anyway, trying not to die from the heat. Then, yeah, that's what you're doing.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
It's, you know, a good old redneck time. Swatting flies. Give a toddler a fly swatter and let them go feral for an hour. They have the time of their lives slapping shit.
Yeah, my daughter loves swatting the flies. She's never got one. She just
never.
But
not
she thinks
a single fly is killed.
Don't worry, okay? The fly parents, you don't need to worry.
Oh no, the fly community's come for us, Madison.
Shit. We gotta stop talking bad about animals. We already said we're gonna
Oh.
eat Snoodles' girlfriend and his
We're
baby.
trying. We're gonna eat his offspring.
Ah,
Sorry.
got me.
That's the goal anyway.
I mean, shit. You're eating potential babies every day with your eggs.
Bro. Look it, I'm right next to the incubator. We got more growing.
Do quail eggs taste different than chicken eggs?
No.
No, they taste the same.
No. You just need
Interesting.
more of them.
Yeah, because our Costco sells quail eggs and duck eggs.
Really? Oh, I was gonna
Yeah.
say we have turkey eggs too now, and they also taste the same as chicken eggs. It's like,
Hmm.
here's what's crazy is like 3 to 4 quail eggs is the size of one chicken egg. Okay.
Yeah, they're so tiny.
One turkey egg is like 2 chicken eggs, 2 to 3.
Wow.
That's how big it is.
Wow. It's bigger than a duck egg.
Yeah. A duck egg's probably similar to a chicken egg in size, I would assume. It's a
Yeah,
little
it's
bit
a
bigger,
little bit
but
bigger. Yeah.
yeah. I know Taylor wants ducks, and I'm like, that's adding water to the ecosystem.
Yeah,
That's a
no.
lot.
The ducks, I've gotten on Duck Talk and people are literally like, don't fucking do it because you have to have water for them.
You have to have water for them year round. Yeah, no. Look, if anyone's looking to get into birds, I'm gonna say it. Just get quail.
Really, they're easier than chickens?
So much easier.
Wow.
They're smaller. They're more compact. I don't know, man. I fucks with the quails. Look, I think this man wants to quit his job and be a farmer full time. He wants to be selling chicken eggs and quails and all these things, and I'm trying to make my dreams come true so I can pay for it so he can do that. But we need to get ducks in a row, metaphorical ducks in a row first.
Share our podcast with all your friends
Yeah.
and family.
Get us cool enough to need commercials so that we can make this a real job.
Yeah, that would be tight. Yeah.
That'd be
Yeah.
so sick, dude.
It would be. It would be groovy.
It would
Okay.
be the tits. Okay,
We
we
can
gotta
keep
fucking
talking
go.
all fucking day. Yeah, let's say our goodbyes. Okay, Christina, where can the people find you?
You can find me everywhere at Christina K. Sheftick. We're not spelling that. That's up for you to figure it out. Where can the people find you, Madison?
TikTok and Instagram. TikTok, I'm Madison_Barbosa. Instagram, I'm Madison LeBlanc_Barbosa. We'll tag it below. So
Yeah.
and
Just go hit that tag.
Yeah. We see you next week.
See you next week. Bye.
Alrighty, bye.